What's up, everybody? Welcome to my qualifying analysis. I'm sitting here in the Budapest hotel room. What an epic qualifying it's been today. Wow, amazing. Yeah, so here we go. Maybe you've seen it on my previous video. So for me, Max Verstappen is at the moment the best F1 driver out there. Even better, even slightly better than Lewis Hamilton, just recently now overtaking him. And he's just been doing an unbelievable job, really. And I'm sure most of you agree. Give me a thumbs up on that right now if you agree that Verstappen is the fastest driver out there, or just comment below. But I think some thumbs up is cool, so keep those thumbs up going if you think Verstappen is the best. So I'm gonna cover the five points, 5 reasons why he is the best at the moment. First point, natural talent, just unbelievable natural talent. I think like on a line with like Senna, Hamilton, like one of those absolute one in every 10 years natural talents, absolutely phenomenal. So that's the first one. And actually his 2 parents were both racing drivers, huh? So it's like double genes. Max Verstappen's dad being Jos Verstappen was a really great racing driver with huge talent, and his mom was a great go-karting driver as well, who was like top 5, top 8 in the world sometimes. So I think it's like double genes, double talent, so huge talent there. Self-confidence, unbelievable self-confidence and self-belief. Like so, and this is like some time ago in some video I said there was this like narcissistic touch to it. Narcissistic, I didn't mean it in a negative way. Narcissistic is when you love yourself and when you have this really big self-confidence, and all of the greatest drivers of F1 always had that. I mean, Schumacher had it, Senna had it, all those really great drivers, they all had this steely self-confidence, which I, for example, unfortunately didn't have to that extent. And I think he's got that bucket load, because if last year you do a mistake one time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, even 6 times, like crashing and in a one-to-one battle, always like crashing and going out, and you get so much criticism, but yet you have so much self-confidence that you just keep on doing it, and you just do your fine adjustments for yourself until it comes good. And then it just takes off like he has been taking off in the last couple of months, and no more mistakes or anything. And that's the kind of self-confidence that I was speaking about, because most other people, especially being as young as him, when they're criticized so hard from the outside, they would really definitely make sure to change. But he just kept going. So that's very important. And this self-confidence is important in sport because it gives you this resilience, because there's so much pressure, so much going on in sport, so many opinions and politics and everything. And if you really just have that steely self-confidence, it keeps you protected from all that and keeps you focused, keeps you just keeps you a clear head, gives you strength for racing. So I think that's a big strength. Okay, point 3. I think the car matches really well with him at the moment. So Red Bull or him together, they've engineered a car that fits perfectly to his driving. And please, if you're not sure you agree with that, then take a look at today's qualifying lap. It's like on absolute rails. It's unbelievable. Perfect lap, like absolutely nailed it. And this is a very technical track where you have jumps and bumps and one corner to the next, and often get snaps and things, and that car is just absolutely on rails with the way he's driving it. So I think there's a perfect match there. And now point 4. Point 4 is a cool one. So he's 21, turning 22, but still 21, I think. And this is a combination that I think the sport has never seen. So because the best age for racing drivers is like 30, 31, 32, and that's because your ability as you're getting older slightly decrease, your speed of reaction and all that, but experience counts so much in this sport. So experience will outdo the small decrease in your natural abilities as a human as you're getting a bit older. And that's why the peak age is like 30, 31, 32. But with Max, he has the absolute youth, so the bullet speed like reaction still in his mind, absolute peak human body reaction times in his mind, and he also has the experience, because he's like one of the experienced drivers by now out there with like 4 years under his belt. And I think that makes for an unbelievably powerful combination, which someone like Lewis Hamilton, for example, who certainly is already a little bit on the decline in his natural human abilities. Possibly we're seeing that in his qualifying results this year, where Bottas is at least as good as Lewis in qualifying, and possibly even on average slightly ahead of Lewis in qualifying this year. So that could be this human body performance decreasing a little bit. But Lewis just has bucket loads of experience, so that makes him just an unbelievable weapon still. But I think that's an interesting combination there for Max. 5th one is the commitment. Unbelievable commitment that Max has at the moment, I think. So we see that in his fitness. We see that in gaming all the time, keeping those reactions going, go-karting, working with the engineers and all that. It's really powerful commitment. So those are my 5 reasons. Let me know in the comments below if you have if you can think of a sixth reason. Let me know. I'll be reading them, so I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. And if you agree, again, that Max is the best driver out there, then give me a thumbs up on the video. Let's see those thumbs up coming through, because I'm sure most of you are going to be agreeing with that. Okay, now I'm going to go to my qualifying analysis. I've got my notes written down here. So qualifying analysis, again, Verstappen, just covering that off. I mean, phenomenal job he did under pressure there in the very end. He drives so well under pressure as well, like no mistakes. So he did an amazing lap, 2 amazing laps, like all through qualifying, absolutely dominating. So yeah, awesome. And I don't think they had the fastest car. I think Mercedes still had the fastest car, and it's just Verstappen with his driving that put it up there in pole, because Gasly knows how to drive a racing car. I mean, he's not a complete loser. That's certainly the case. We saw that in all the junior categories, and he's 9/10 of a second away. So I'll really put it down to Max just doing an epic piece of driving out there. Bottas second. Let's give it up for Bottas as well. Really, Bottas did a great job out there today, because he gave Lewis almost 2/10 of a second. Really did a great job, a great lap and everything, and the pressure could not be higher for a driver, because he knows he's out there driving for his seat at Mercedes next year. If he doesn't nail this weekend, he's out. Can you imagine the pressure on that? Like, wow, don't want to be in that situation, because that's bad. So he really delivered massively. The difference in lap time between the two was 100th and a little bit. I can't remember exactly. Anyways, I had calculated it. It's 1 meter between Max Verstappen and Bottas, end of the lap, 1 meter at 220 kilometers an hour. That's the difference. Max arrived at the line 1 meter earlier. Like, isn't that crazy? So short, and it will make such a huge difference for the race. Third, Hamilton. Yeah, struggling. Not his most awesome year in terms of qualifying this year. He's really had some difficult ones. Bottas really being very close, as I said before. Maybe even slightly ahead on average this year than Lewis. So Lewis being one of the best qualifiers of all time. Not the best. Don't know what's going on there for Lewis. Losing a little bit of performance in qualifying in general. In the racing, he's still absolutely phenomenal on race pace, and he kills Bottas in race pace. But qualifying, Bottas has been doing well. So at the moment, yeah, it's very difficult to kick him out. I really think Bottas deserves that seat at the moment, because he's doing rather well. So, and he's shown it again. So I guess Bottas would deserve to stay on at Mercedes next year. But Ocon, of course, is pushing hard to try and get into it, and he would deserve it as well, because he's such a young rising talent and possible future world champion. Again, I've got him actually chatting on my vlog about today, which is the next video that's coming out. So please subscribe, hit the notification so you don't miss when that video comes live. I had Ocon on a chat there, which was quite fun. And even Kimi Räikkönen. I spoke to Kimi Räikkönen, just met him by coincidence there in the hospitality at Sauber. So check that out as well. So again, subscribe, hit the notification, so you see when that video comes up. It'll be up like sometime in the middle of the night, and then you can see it tomorrow morning. I had a chat with Kimi Räikkönen as well. Then Leclerc put it in the wall, which again was a bad mistake. Too many mistakes at the moment from Leclerc. But then massively lucky, just broke the rear wing and had some great pace then in qualifying. So he beat Vettel. I think both those drivers did a decent job, Leclerc and Vettel, very, very close between the two of them, and they both got the best out of the car. But they were 5/10 of a second away from Verstappen. Imagine that. Ferrari 5/10 of a second away from Verstappen. Again, that just tells me that it's really Verstappen who just did an unbelievable job rather than the car, because I don't think the Red Bull is suddenly 5/10 of a second faster there. And Ferrari just struggling as usual. In straight lines, they're the fastest, but as soon as you get to some corners, they just struggle with their car. So they were massively quick in the first sector, always the quickest, and then as soon as you got to sector 2 and 3, where there's more corners, they were struggling massively, and they lost all their time there. Gasly, we discussed, 9/10 away. Let's see how long he can keep his seat. And then we come to McLaren, so Norris and Sainz. Norris is a massive rising star and a great, I'm sure he's going to be a champion in the future. So to all of you who are British, I see Davide writing Russell, coming to him soon. To all of you who are British, Lando Norris, great future ahead. Really showing Sainz the way sometimes, but Sainz as well is doing a great season. So they're both, I think it's a great driver pairing there at McLaren. Sainz has amazing points. He's best of the rest at the moment with like 48 points. So amazing points haul from Sainz this year. Really, they've done a good job, and the car's improving. So for all of you McLaren fans out there, it's nice to see they're on the right track again, because they were in pretty dire situations recently. Then let's get to Grosjean. Grosjean, who was 9th. Wow, can you imagine? So Haas put Grosjean on the Melbourne spec car, which is like months and months and months ago. And then Magnussen was driving next to him this weekend with all the developments from the whole season. So Grosjean, old car from Melbourne, Magnussen with a new car with all the developments, and Magnussen is nowhere. He is like right at the back and Grosjean qualified 9th. Isn't that crazy? You know how much money Haas spent on developing the car? They've put a fortune into that car. Jeez, and it's all into the dustbin because it's all gone the wrong way. Can you imagine how painful that is? Also, like, to understand, where did it all go wrong? What's going on? Oh my God, that's horrible. That's horrible for all the engineers and for the whole future and everything. Tough, tough, tough. Kimi Räikkönen, 10th place. I think he got the best out of it, did a really good job in qualifying. And again, subscribe here to the YouTube channel and hit the notification because I've got Kimi Räikkönen in a chat. We had a fun chat actually, and I've got him coming in the next video, which is the vlog from today. I think you'll enjoy that. You'll enjoy that. He was really in a good mood. We had a good laugh. So check that out. And then let's mention one more guy. We have to mention George Russell. And another, just like Lando Norris, a huge British hopeful of the future and a massive talent driving for Williams. And he did an epic qualifying. He was flying. And he beat guys like Ricciardo. I know he had traffic, but anyways, he beat both Force Indias. And he was so close to making it into Q2. So when I saw his lap on board, it was really beautifully driven. So awesome job there. Nice to see that Williams is progressing as well. That's really, really cool. Yeah, so that's it for me. And he beat Kubica by like 1.3 seconds, which is massive. And Kubica's been going okay recently, so I really think it's just George Russell did amazing driving there. Okay, so let's take a few comments. Coco, Max is saving Formula 1. I agree, Max is doing such a great job for Formula 1. Because again, today it would have been Mercedes dominance without Max. And he's just driving the hell out of that car and putting it in front of the Mercedes and giving us such a spectacular race tomorrow. Also, the start is going to be exciting. So very much looking forward to that. Let me give you my ranking, who I think is going to win. I think Verstappen is going to get it. Not easy for him to defend it in turn 1, but he's going to take the risks and he's going to get it. Behind that, I think Lewis is going to be 2nd and Bottas 3rd. Let me know your 1, 2, 3 in the comments below. Do you think Verstappen is going to win it tomorrow or not? Let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up as well in the video if you're liking this analysis. And that's it for me. I'm going to head off to dinner now here in Budapest with a couple of friends. So subscribe please, and thank you very much. Tune in for the next video, which is the vlog coming live tonight sometime, and you can catch it tomorrow morning or even later tonight. Just stay tuned. Bye bye.